But yo, what's up guys? So we're here to showcase off the arrival of Cyberse at AzneyesWhitedragon, the ultimate boss monster. But in this deck, we're going to actually pull off multiple boss monsters in one turn. But it's still the ultimate boss, like turn one that I've seen, because we're making multiple cards that would basically be immune to certain things. But it's a consistent deck to actually pull off this combo. So what you're actually going to really need to pull it off super consistently with an insane board is actually going to be utilizing the effect of the Black Metal Dragon, because this effect is not a once per turn, which is insane. Also want to mention that Needle Fiber is not in this deck. However, when it comes out in the TCG, this deck will be even more insane. But this is the new Link 6 monster, which is like pretty much the ultimate boss monster. It comes out with, it can technically have 6,000 attack, but we're going to have 4,000 attack, and on top of that, it's immune to everything, and then once per turn, you can target another monster and pop it and then get a token out of it. And then on top of that, you have Dragon of Red Eyes, which is another boss monster. It doesn't matter this guy playing a Bujits in 2019, that's a good meme. But we've also got multiple negates with Savage Dragon, so you're looking at a double boss. Technically, this is kind of a boss monster too, that has double negates. But nonetheless, there's really not too much that most decks can do at this point of having this setup over here, which is, this is the trinity that you're trying to go for. Alternatively, if you open up with 1-for-1, or if Needle Fiber comes out in the TCG, you can actually explode and do even more stuff. But pretty much this is your go-to turn one play that is going to be very consistent to pull off if you decide to go ahead and Black Metal Dragon multiple times. But I want to show you guys a few different plays that this deck can actually go off with. But nonetheless, you know, I've seen so many more people try to play like the Buster Blader deck now that obviously you have that card that just equips it, right? Which still just makes even vanilla Buster Blader better, not just other archetypes. It was that new machine card that everyone's teching in, but the key concept is go ahead and just summon anything that can go right into Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon then lets you go ahead and go into the Boot Sector, and then with Boot Sector you're going to be able to summon it another time. And then a lot of the cards in this deck are basically free advantage, and you guys will probably understand the bread and butter combo here, which really just comes down to using the Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon again and again. Now he's going to go ahead and actually banish the Buster Blader, so rip him. No combo for you. You're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh today because it's his turn. So we're going to go ahead and once again summon the Savage Dragon. So this way, regardless of what the other back row is, we're going to be a lot safer here. And then we're going to go ahead and activate that effect. We're going to pop. I'm going to pop again. And then with no monsters left on the field, that's going to go ahead and be a OTK. You don't always have to make the ultimate boss monster, but obviously it does help out because most of the time, your opponent will just GG at that point. But we're going to see it one more time. And then we're going to also check out a play where it's a little bit different, which you guys will see over here. So Romulus, going to go ahead and add that Dragoonie. So it's basically, the Striker gives you one field spell, and this one gives you the other one. You use Ravine, and then you get to recycle one of the cards. Then we're going to go ahead and Quick Launch, pop, Rocket Synchron, and then the Silver Rocket, and then LP and Pisty. Ripogar Pain, though. And then this card is just a stepping stone. It can actually be potentially other things. But Red Ice Insight over there. I'm going to go ahead and make the B-Dragon. And then in this instance, we're going for Flare Metal. This could actually be a pretty good play too. So you guys can see what the deck can do if you don't happen to want to go for the big boy. A lot of times I feel like it's unnecessary, but this card actually turn one is quite good. But at this point, he's just going to go ahead and just say no to that. And on top of that, he's got 2 negates with this. And I don't think he's going to do too much against that board. But we got one more play versus a really strange invoked variant. I don't know. We were talking about this in my live stream when he goes for this play. I haven't seen people do this before in like a first turn play. So he ends up going for the Predaplant, goes and activates Instant Fusion, then looks to moon this card, then passes. He does happen to have Super Poly, so you'll see a really nasty play that this guy actually pulls off. Because I thought that this play was kind of awkward and maybe considered bad, but watch what he does with it. Anyways, Red Ice Darkness Metal, you guys already know. Romulus going to go ahead and search out the Ravine, even though he's already got one, but it's actually quite important. So he's going to go ahead and send the Absurator, which is going to go ahead and add the Rocket Dragon. And then we're going to go ahead and make the Satellite. It's kind of more of just a stepping stone. But then now we have our setup here, and we're going to go ahead and summon the Blackstone Going to Red AzneyesWhitedragon. He hits us up with the Super Poly, Invoked Elysium is summoned, and at any point he's just going to lose out in his entire board. And I'm sure he'll probably be like, yo, I shouldn't have activated that early, because this card is pretty good. Dragon of Red Eyes is just such an insanely easy card to go ahead and bust out. And he actually loses because of this card, because it has 500 attack. But you guys can see that you can very easily make what I would consider like the Trinity board, which is going to be the Arrival Cyberse. But most of the time, I think it's overkill, and at the end of the day, you can probably make boards that are better without it, but because it is a new card, obviously people want to see it. So there it is, the Link 6 Ultimate Boss Monster deck. Let's go ahead and hop into a deck profile in case any of you guys do want to go ahead and run this new Dragon variant. I almost want to call it Rocket Red Eyes, Rocket Red Eyes, Red Eyes Rockets. But yeah, Savage Dragon, quite a great card, and if you combine, like, this is already a boss monster that's pretty much immune to most things, because neither player can target with card effects, and it can't be destroyed by card effects. Now, this card is just immune to everything, which is really good. We never got to see the second effect, but I feel like the second effect is kind of meh, which is you get to pop a card, another monster on the field, which can technically be your own. You get another token, but again, it's really just unnecessary, because the stats are 0/0 anyways. But here's what we got. So we've got 2 copies of Dark Magician, 3 copies of Red AzneyesWhitedragon. We got 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, 1 copy of Tempest, 1 copy of Malefic Red AzneyesWhitedragon. This is just another target that you can just special summon that happens to be a dragon. Then we have Absolute Red Dragon, 2 copies of the Silver Rocket, 1 copy of the Black Dragon, 2 copies of the Starliege Dragon Sephret. Then we got the White Dragon, and then 2 copies of the Rocket Tracer, 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon, which if you open up this, you're getting the combo off 100%. And then, oh, of course, unless they hand trap you, but I guess you have these to stop that. And then we got 1 copy of the Rocket Synchron, 1 copy of Blackstone of Legend, 1 Alert of Darkness, 1 copy of 1-for-1, 2 copies of Red Eyes Fusion, 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, 1 Reborn, 1 World Legacy Succession, 3 copies of Called, 2 copies of Quick Launch, 1 copy of Twin Twisters, 1 copy of the World Legacy Guard Dragon, then Evolved Boot Sector, 2 copies of Ravine, 1 copy of Red Eye Spirit, and 1 copy of Return of the Red Eyes. I honestly feel like you can drop either one of these, and potentially even just a Dark Magician, because you have nothing that would just banish it unless you're considering Alert of Darkness, at which point you can maybe bump up Alerted Double if you want to, because with the Red Eyes Fusion card, this one, where is it, using monster from your hand or deck anyways, so I feel like playing 2 copies of Dark Magician, even when I was playing it, it was kind of irrelevant. But still, you can keep in 3 of the Red Eyes because it does help out and it has some synergy with the deck for cycling through cards. But for the extra deck, we got 2 copies of Dragon of Red Eyes, 1 copy of Savage Dragon, 1 copy of the new Ultimate Boss Monster, the Arrival Cyberse at Ignister, then 1 copy of Borlode, 1 copy of Yugioh, copy of Darkness Metal, the Dark Steel Dragon, Galaxy Satellite Dragon, then we got the Romulus, and then Clothheap, and then 2 copies of the Predaplanet Verde Anaconda, and then 1 Pisty, 1 Striker Dragon, and 1 Alpi, a Guard Dragon. But yo, shout out to my boy Sanmaru for building this deck. I wouldn't have actually thought that you'd be able to bust it out in like a Red Eyes variant. The first play was just so insane. Again, the other plays technically could have made it, but it might just be one of those cards where it's like win harder, but I still think it's a cool card nonetheless. It's a Link 6, and it's our only Link 6 like boss monster at the moment. But really cool stuff indeed, and thanks and shouts once again to you, Sanmaru, for sending in the gameplay as well as the deck profile. But anyways, if you guys have any suggestions for the deck, let me know down below in the comment section below. But thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, and if you are new, hit subscribe, turn on that bell so you don't miss out on new Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'm signing out. Peace.